Hello and welcome to Vegan Cafe 21. Today we are making Aloo Gobhi, and this is a fail-proof method of preparing Aloo Gobhi because generally when you make it in a skillet or a pot, either the cauliflower gets mushed up a bit much or the potatoes get underdone. So this way you can rest assured your potatoes and cauliflower are all going to maintain their integrity, and when we put this vegetable together, it's going to look very pretty, very delicious, and great to look at. So let's get started. So what I did was I took 1 potato per person. My potatoes were about this size, so I peeled and washed all my potatoes and sort of diced them almost the same size so they all cook evenly. I again took a head of cauliflower, trimmed it, washed it, and broke apart the florets about this size because I'm going to put all of this together in the oven. So I don't want the cauliflower florets to be too small because my potatoes are sort of wedges this thick. So I want it all to cook around at the same time and not one thing overcook more than the other. And in the middle, as you can see, I have a lot of garlic. We love garlic in our family, and particularly in this vegetable, garlic is really good. It brings it all together. So this is how we are going to go about doing this. At this stage, the only spices that we are going to use is salt, red chili pepper. Now, if you don't like your vegetable to be too hot, you can omit this or use paprika instead of hot red chili pepper. We like it a little bit spicy, so I'm going to use hot red chili pepper. And here is more garlic in the form of garlic powder. This is olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, and black pepper. I'll bring my big bowl for the cauliflower. I'll put all the cauliflower in here. When it comes to cooking with certain things, your hands are your best tools. So clean your hands thoroughly and get cooking. So I'm going to pull my sleeves up a little bit. And here's my extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to put a generous drizzle of olive oil. This is about 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Again, you can put less or more depending on how salty you like your food to be. And this is about, I think, a teaspoon, a little less than a teaspoon of garlic powder. So I'm going to put about half in my cauliflower. Let's go with a little more. And I'll save the rest for potatoes. And here we go. Just mix it all up a little bit like this so they all get coated with oil. Again, put your fingers down and just bring them back up like this. I'm going to grind some black pepper over the florets. And I'm going to put just a little bit of red pepper. Mix it all up nicely. Do you see the color? It's beginning to look pretty already. There we go. What I have here is 2 baking sheets lined with parchment paper. I'm going to spread my cauliflower on one of these, like such. And try not to overlap them. Just keep them spread out, single layer. And there we have it. Our cauliflower is ready to go in the oven. In the same bowl, I am going to put the potatoes. So here we are. There's our potatoes. Same thing. We'll coat our potatoes with oil, add our salt, put the rest of the garlic and the pepper. Give it a good mix. Let's grind some black pepper on our potatoes. There you go, a quick mix. And now we spread them onto our other cookie sheet. Now before I started doing all of this, I started preheating my oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. So my oven is already waiting for me at 400. Now, the garlic. We are going to put the garlic in the same pot. There's still some oil and spice at the base of it. That should be enough for our garlic. We are going to take it, and wherever we find room on whichever sheet, I think I'm going to put them on the corner of the potato sheet here because we do have some room. Again, please make sure you spread them in a single layer. Make sure the potatoes are not overlapping each other to provide every single piece enough room to circulate the heat around them and cook evenly and brown up nicely. There we go. We're all set. I'm going to put potatoes on the top rack and cauliflower goes under it. And we are going to set our timer for 25 minutes. That's all it should take. You can come back once your timer goes off and check for doneness. If you feel like they need a couple more minutes, you can leave them in there for a couple extra minutes, and by then they should be looking nice and golden brown around the edges. So I'll meet you once these vegetables are roasted, and then we'll put this vegetable together. All right, so our potatoes and cauliflower are out of the oven. As you can see, look at the beautiful color around the potatoes and the edges of the cauliflower. Now here's the thing. I set it initially at 400 degrees. You go back and check when it's getting close to the 25-minute time mark that you had set. See if they don't look golden brown enough to you. What you can do is at that point, take out the garlic that we had in the corner over here, which I did. This is how it looked at the end of 25 minutes at 400 degrees. Remember, they were sitting in the corner over here with the potatoes on the top shelf. Cauliflower was on the bottom shelf. At the end of 25 minutes, this is how they looked. So I removed them, and my potatoes still weren't as golden as I would like them to be. So I bumped up the heat to 420 and let them go for another 8 to 10 minutes. And at the end of that time, this is how they turned out. I'll show you. They are nice and soft, as you can see. Nice and soft to touch, nice and golden brown. And now it's time for us to put the dish together. So I'm going to start with a pan on my heat here and add some oil to the pan. To this, I'm going to add 1 large onion, finely chopped. Onions are just a minute or so shy of golden brown. Now I'm going to add our turmeric powder. That was a teaspoon of turmeric powder, 2 teaspoons of coriander powder. Cook them through. You want to cook, at this point, you want to just cook your turmeric and coriander just a little bit, sautéed with onions to get the smell of turmeric out. Otherwise, uncooked turmeric does carry a smell, and you don't want that in your vegetable. Now I'm going to add ginger to it. Give it another 10-second saute to get everyone in the skillet to know each other. And at this point, we'll go ahead and invite our tomatoes to the party. There we go. Let them hang out for a minute or so and cook on low to medium heat. You must have noticed initially it felt like it was going to be a little sticky at the bottom. As it gets closer to being done, it kind of moves freely around the bottom of the pan. That's because it has released some of the oil that we had started out with. It's not as sticky anymore. At this point, I am going to start. First, I'll lower the heat, and then I am going to take my potatoes and add them to the pan. And now I'll bring over the cauliflower. Now, when you mix this, you want to be very gentle. Bring your spatula to the base and just flip it over a few times. Just like that. Just like that. Now, you must be wondering, where do the garlic go? What we'll do is, we'll put the garlic down on our board, and you can use the back side of your knife. I'm just going to use my food mover and just sort of, oops, garlic overboard. That's okay, we have plenty. I'm just going to sort of mash it up a little bit. There we have it. And this mashed garlic also goes in. There we go. Mix it all up. Do you see the color of this thing? How beautiful does that look? There we go. Now I'm going to plate this. And to finish it off, we just do a sprinkle of cilantro, and there you have it. Potato and cauliflower sabji, or as they call it in Hindi, Aloo Gobhi ki sabzi. Enjoy.